I just saw this large head hovering over top of me. And I started to realize that the head that I saw wasn't necessarily humanoid looking.
Imagine waking up to a strange, bright light shining through your window. You can't move. You can't scream. Suddenly, you're being lifted from your bed, your body paralyzed, as you drift upward towards something you can't understand. A spacecraft, looming over you in the night sky. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie. For hundreds of people around the world, this is their reality. These are the people who claim they have been abducted by aliens. And for some, it's more than just a claim. It's a life-altering event they can't explain. And in many cases, their stories are eerily similar. Sounds like a nightmare, doesn't it? But for many, this isn't just a bad dream. This is reality.
My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Before we go any further, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on, or you might just find yourself having an unsettling encounter of your own tonight. Now, let's get into it. Alien abductions. The stuff of Hollywood movies. Or is it? Over the last several decades, thousands of people around the world have reported chillingly similar stories. Stories of being taken against their will, experimented on, and returned with no memory except for fragmented, disturbing flashes of their time aboard alien craft. But what if I told you that these stories aren't just the wild fantasies of over-imaginative minds? What if I told you there's evidence? Let's go back to the case that shook the world. Betty and Barney Hill. It's September 19th, 1961. A couple is driving home through the desolate mountains of New Hampshire. It's a late-night drive. The stars above are clear. And then, they notice something. A light. Too bright and moving too erratically to be a plane.
Hello, which one have I got on the line, or have I got your boat?
You have us both on.
Oh, how wonderful. Hello, that's you, Barney?
Yes, that's correct.
And Betty, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
They pull over, curiosity gnawing at them, only to see a craft hovering low in the sky following them. They continue their drive, but the light persists, creeping closer until it's nearly right on top of them. And then, nothing. Hours later, Betty and Barney Hill wake up in their car, disoriented, confused. They're miles down the road with no memory of what just happened. But when they undergo hypnosis to recover their memories, what they reveal sends shivers down the spine of every investigator involved. They described being taken aboard a ship, their bodies immobilized. Strange, humanoid creatures with large eyes and small mouths examined them. Betty described seeing star maps of constellations we hadn't even discovered yet. What's even stranger? Years later, the star system she described was found to exist. Betty and Barney Hill weren't the only ones. Thousands of others across the globe have reported eerily similar encounters. Missing time, strange marks on their bodies, fragmented memories of bright lights, paralyzing fear, and beings that seem too intelligent to be from this world. But it's not just the stories that line up, it's the details. Most abductees describe encounters with beings known as greys. You've probably seen them. Short, with elongated heads, large, slanted eyes, and skin as smooth as porcelain. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same description we hear time and time again. One of the most terrifying parts? It's not just happening in secluded areas or rural towns. It's happening everywhere. Could it happen to you in your very own home? No one is safe. Let's take a look at the case of Travis Walton, one of the most famous, well-documented abductions in history. It's November 5th, 1975. Walton is working with his logging crew in the forests of Arizona. As they're wrapping up for the day, a bright light catches his eye. Against the pleas of his co-workers, Walton approaches the glowing object, hovering just above the tree line. Then, without warning, a beam of light strikes him, launching his body backward.
I was lying on my back on a raised table. There was a light above me.
His crew, understandably terrified, flees the scene, only to return minutes later to find that Travis Walton has disappeared. For 5 days, Walton is missing. And when he finally reappears, he has a story that will shake you to your core. Walton claims he was taken aboard a craft where he encountered humanoid beings.
I lashed out at them.
Some resembling the Greys, but others disturbingly human-like. He describes floating in a chamber, subjected to medical procedures he couldn't understand.
They came around the table and the three of them were coming towards me.
When he returned, Walton passed multiple polygraph tests, and his co-workers, all witnesses, also passed theirs. But even with credible witnesses and polygraph evidence, skeptics still dismissed his story. Why? Could it be that the truth is too terrifying for the public to accept? Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the government. For decades, the US government denied the existence of UFOs and alien encounters. They brushed off sightings as weather balloons or military tests gone wrong. But the declassified Project Blue Book files and the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program reveal a far more disturbing truth. Between 1952 and 1969, the U.S. Air Force documented over 12,000 UFO sightings through Project Blue Book, many of which remain unexplained. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. In 2017, the Pentagon admitted it had been running a secretive $22 million program investigating UFO encounters. And let me tell you, what they found was not just experimental aircraft. They were tracking unidentified flying objects moving at speeds and angles that defy the laws of physics. This isn't just conspiracy theory. This is coming straight from government files. So, if the government has been tracking these things for decades, what else are they keeping from us, and why? That brings us to Dr. Stephen Greer, a prominent figure in UFO research and disclosure.
Well, let me rephrase that. Have you ever seen face-to-face an alien being?
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
Dr. Greer believes that the U.S. government has not only been aware of extraterrestrial beings, but has had direct contact with them for years. Dr. Greer founded the Disclosure Project, gathering over 400 government, military, and intelligence community insiders to testify about what they've witnessed. Their stories are chilling. Whistleblowers claim that alien technology is being reverse-engineered in secret military facilities like Area 51. But here's the kicker. Dr. Greer's CE-5 protocol teaches ordinary people how to initiate peaceful contact with extraterrestrials through meditation and consciousness. Thousands of people following his methods have reported strange lights, UFO sightings, and even telepathic communication with alien beings. It's almost as if extraterrestrials have been here all along, and we're only just scratching the surface of understanding their presence. But what if these beings aren't just visiting? What if they're abducting us for a purpose? Many abductees report being subjected to medical tests, blood samples, tissue samples, and even reproductive experiments. Some abductees claim they've seen hybrid children aboard these ships, creatures that are part human, part alien. Why would extraterrestrials conduct these experiments? One theory is that they're studying human biology, possibly even experimenting with genetic modification. Could they be creating a hybrid species? Are we just lab rats in a grand experiment? Or, as some believe, are they here for darker reasons? Some researchers suggest that aliens are interested in more than just our biology. They're interested in our planet. With climate change and environmental degradation threatening Earth's future, could extraterrestrials be monitoring us, deciding whether or not to intervene? Or worse, preparing for their own colonization? No alien discussion is complete without mentioning the Roswell incident, the 1947 crash in New Mexico that sparked UFO hysteria around the world.
This is why the CIA had a very successful project.
While the government insists it was just a weather balloon, eyewitnesses claimed they saw alien bodies recovered from the crash site. But what's even more shocking? Decades later, leaked reports suggest that extraterrestrial technology was found at the site and has since been hidden in Area 51. Could the government have been sitting on alien tech for years, using it to advance military and aerospace technology in secret? And Roswell isn't the only case. Worldwide, there have been countless sightings, unexplained phenomena, and credible witnesses, people who are risking everything to share their experiences. Fast forward to 2023, when Mexico shocked the world by revealing mummified alien bodies during a congressional hearing. The small humanoid figures, allegedly discovered in Peru, were displayed for the public to see. Could this be the first step toward global alien disclosure? Or are governments worldwide still keeping most of the truth hidden? What does the US know that they aren't telling us? As we uncover these chilling stories of alien abductions, UFO sightings, and government cover-ups, one thing becomes clear. There's more happening in our skies than we're being told. The truth is out there, but how much of it do we really know? And more importantly, are we next? So, what do you think? Could you be the next to experience an alien encounter? Be sure to like this video and subscribe, because if you don't, well, you might just find yourself the next passenger aboard a UFO tonight.